The fate of Donald Trump lies in the hands of a New York jury who tomorrow will begin to decide whether to convict the former president in his hush money payment trial. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Caputo joining us now with the latest on today's long day in court. Tim.
Mark, truly a day-long affair. The final day of arguments went well past the court's normal stop time, wrapping up just after 8 o'clock at night. An 11-hour day in court following about a month of testimony, meaning jurors will have a lot to weigh as they start deliberating tomorrow morning. Prosecutors in the hush money trial against former President Donald Trump spent 5 full hours making their closing argument, a final exhaustive effort to convince 12 New York jurors to agree on a guilty verdict. Trump is charged with 34 felony counts, accused of ordering his former lawyer and fixer, Michael Cohen, to pay adult film actress Stormy Daniels to keep quiet about Trump's alleged sexual encounter with her. In that final pitch to jurors, the prosecution called the alleged falsifying of business records a subversion of democracy, claiming Donald Trump was at the center of a conspiracy and cover-up, fearful the truth coming out would cost him the 2016 election. They say when Trump reimbursed Cohen for the alleged hush money, it was disguised as a legal expense to hide the potentially problematic alleged affair from voters. Trump's attorney spent his closing argument taking aim at Cohen himself, calling him the greatest liar of all time, the MVP of lying, even telling the jury you can't send someone to prison based off anything Cohen says, a point the judge didn't appreciate, calling it outrageous and improper, later explaining to jurors they shouldn't consider jail time when deciding if someone is guilty or not. The defense also disputed the signed invoices at the center of this case, claiming Trump was too busy being president to look at checks he was signing. Ultimately, those 12 jurors will decide which narrative they believe, a deliberation about the presumptive Republican presidential nominee that could have an impact well beyond the Manhattan courtroom. Just outside court, actor Robert De Niro, who headlined a President Biden campaign news conference, clashed with Trump supporters.
Take that stupid hat off. You're a bunch of clowns. When you see this guy get elected,
The native New Yorker blasting Trump as someone who will, if elected in November, sow total chaos.
I love this city. I don't want to destroy it. Donald Trump wants to destroy not only the city, but the country, and eventually he could destroy the world.
So Trump, of course, has pleaded not guilty and denies all wrongdoing. Regardless of the outcome of this particular case, he's also facing charges of election interference in both Georgia and federally, as well as illegally storing classified documents in Florida. Unclear if any of those will get to trial before Election Day.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by clicking the subscribe button for our YouTube channel and download the ABC7 Los Angeles streaming app on Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, and Roku to watch on your TV.